Good evening, everyone. I hope this video finds you well. Just throwing this out here at the beginning of this video. I'm getting ready to put together day 3 and 4, and like a rookie editor, I deleted the first 2 scenes that was going to be in today's video. First one wasn't too bad. It was just me sitting in the truck Wednesday morning. Weather was 100% better. Just talking about the first couple of days and what my plan was for that day. Not too bad. The second footage, and I would have to say, in my personal opinion, it's probably the best footage I have ever gotten while filming my hunts, or as long as my channel's been up. I mean, it was by far, of course, it was a turkey. But Saturday afternoon, I was going through the footage and trying to add some more footage onto the laptop, and I was texting actually the day before, I think I was going through the footage, and a buddy of mine was texting me, so I actually recorded that part of the hunt and sent to him. I recorded it with my phone off the laptop and sent to him a text message, and luckily I did that, because as soon as I deleted it Saturday afternoon, that's the second I accidentally deleted it, I realized what I did, and we tried to keep it. At least my wife tried to help me get it back, and it was too late. But I did have the footage of where I texted him, so the footage is real as it happened, just not very good quality. The original, I'm telling you, my personal opinion, was the best footage I've ever got. So, but the rest of the videos for these 2 days are, I still got some other shots. It was pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this together right now. Just thought I'd throw it out there. So the footage you're going to see is the actual footage as it happened, but it's recorded off of my phone, off the laptop onto my phone. That's the only way we was able to save this footage. So enjoy that, and hopefully maybe in about mid next week I might get the next couple days loaded up. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the video. get out of here. Shoot. If that was deer season, they wouldn't even come back close to me. Of course, that was a young deer. Second young deer. Anyway, guys, you've already seen by now, I just had this shot. I shot my very first public land turkey and I blew it. Man, I messed up. I know I'm not a patient man. My wife can attest to that. He gobbled 2 or 3 times at this ridge, and I called a couple times real soft, and he answered. And the last time he gobbled, he wasn't that far out there, and I turned the camera on because they got a little cutaway bush hog out through here, and I knew he could see my decoys. And I recorded for like 3 minutes, and I didn't see anything or him, so I turned the camera off to save some battery life. And as soon as I turned it off, I seen him right there in the bushes, and I hit record again. But my hand was over here about foot and a half from my freaking gun. I had my left hand on the stock, but my right hand, I just did turn the camera on, and if I'd have moved my hand over to the gun, he would have spotted me. And he was in full strut, and I just needed him to turn just a little bit, get his head behind his fan. And I'd be able to get my gun pulled up and get a shot at him, but it didn't happen. And then finally, I think he got nervous because the decoys wasn't moving. And I don't know, man, I had him like 25, 30 yards. And he was probably about 35, 40 yards when I shot. This thing is not very accurate at that distance, but I aimed right at his head. But I turned the camera off and I jumped up and I ran out there a little way to see if I could see him and land where he'd been out there. As soon as I got back up here and sat down, he started gobbling his head off back out there where he was originally this morning. And I called a couple times and he walked over to my left. And then I heard him gobbling. He'd gone down over the hill. He went over on a piece of private over here to my left. It's all private over there. Last time I heard him, he gobbled. Last 2 or 3 times he gobbled, he was heading down over the hill. But he's over on private land. I think it's only 8 o'clock now. I think I'm going to go ahead and sit here for a little while longer, see if I can't strike something else up. If not, I might try something else. But, oh my gosh, I did get some good footage, but man, what footage I want. I just want some footage of me going over grabbing that bad boy. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm excited, though. Man, I've had a couple encounters with a couple deers already. Oh, but anyway, I'm going to turn the camera off and hopefully someone else will show up here before too long. If not, hey, I got to 1 o'clock. I'll be somewhere. Give y'all a little update. What's going on this morning? It's 10 o'clock right now. You've already seen, I just missed, if you've seen this video already, I just missed that nice gobbler this morning. I'm not sure what happened. He was in full strut. Mr. Impatient here cost myself that shot. I cost myself that turkey because he gobbled early this morning, and he gobbled again. And I called him the second time. And next time he gobbled, I could tell he was on the ground. At least he was a lot closer. And I called one more time. And he gobbled again. And I was like, man, he's almost on top of me. There's a bunch of brush in between me and him. There's a little right away they cut out through there, brush hogged it last year. He was coming down that and he could see my decoys. I couldn't see him, but he could see my decoys. And the last time he gobbled, I turned the camera on. I was like, man, he's going to come around that corner anytime now. And it was almost like 4 minutes later. I was like, man, I'm using a lot of footage and battery life and I ain't getting nothing. So I rushed up and turned the power off. As soon as I turned the power off, I could see just barely through the brush. I could see him coming. I turned it back on again, and you'll see in the video. As soon as I turn the power on, he steps out. And I had my gun on my knee, and my left hand's under the stock, the forearm, and my right hand's over here on I just hit the camera button. I was probably needing my right hand to come over about a foot, 16 inches or so, to get on the trigger. The gun was pointed at his direction. I was angled at him. I had a shot at him. He was probably about 45 yards when he first popped out. And I couldn't move my hand. He was looking at me. He would have pegged me off if I moved my hand over to get there. And I kept waiting for him to, when he's in full stride, I was hoping he would turn and race back to me just for a second so I could get my hand on the trigger. And he never did. And he got to about probably 30 yards of me. And something spooked. And you can see on the video, and I think you probably hear it too. I pumped my gun up, and I went to pull the trigger, and the safety was still on, so I clicked the safety off. I had a mouth call in. It sounded terrible, but I just tried to stop him just for a second. I tried to get his head up, and he was probably about 40 yards. I shot at him. I know it was a complete mess, but I turned the camera off, and I went and run down there just see if he's laying there. And then I walked down that way for a good ways. I didn't see him anywhere, so I come back up here and sit down. And within 10 minutes, he was there back where he was at the original time, just gobbling. Again, he was gobbling his head off. So I go ahead and gave him a couple soft calls, and he started working his way to my left. And I thought he was coming, because another little right away they cut over here to my left. They cut around a big bunch of trees right here. They made a big circle. I thought he was going to walk down to my left, so I turned the camera around, got the gun pointed over that way. Sounded like he was about halfway to me. Then he dropped down over the hill, and that's all. That's private land over on the left-hand side, just right down over the hill. There's private land, and I could hear him gobbling all the way down the hill. And then there was another one gobbling out here where he originally was. He gobbled one time, so I called to him, and he answered me one time, and he never answered again. Meanwhile, this one over the hill was gobbling his head off for the longest time. And then about 45 minutes later, this one here in Ridge gobbled one more time, and then somebody shot out here. I don't know, because nobody come by me coming in here this morning, so it must have been somebody off the private land on this side. Somebody shot, and within about a minute or two, the one that was down over the hill gobbling his head off. Somebody shot down there twice, and I haven't heard either one of them. So I've been sitting there for about an hour trying to contemplate whether I wanted to sit here a little bit longer or go somewhere else. And I heard one gobble over that way, the next ridge over to my right. And I sit here for a few minutes contemplating about it, and I said, I know about where he's at. I'd get down there to him, so I left my decoy stashed in the brush over here, so I just got my gun and my camera, and I went walking through there the best I could. And I knew about where they was at, and I knew exactly where I was wanting to go, and I was probably about 20 yards from where I was wanting to be at. And all of a sudden, two toms took off running down the ridge, so my little heads was bebopping in behind the trees and logs and stuff, and I never had a shot of them. They went down the ridge, and one of them just gobbled just a couple minutes ago. They're still pretty far off, but I come back in my original spot. I'm just going to go ahead and sit here the rest of the day. I'm going to do some very, very faint calling, just not very often, and it's about after 10 o'clock now, so I got to be out of the woods by 1, so I'm just going to go ahead and sit here the rest of the day. And yeah, if something comes in, great. If not, it's probably all this footage you see today. But I don't know. My plans may change a little bit for tomorrow, so stay tuned. Welcome back again, guys. Day 4. It's Thursday, April 21st. It's about 4:45 again, about the same time I was up here yesterday. Had a pretty good day yesterday, actually. You seen the video now, my hit and miss. Had a few deer come out on me. Tried to scare them off. And one of them, I didn't even realize. I was sitting there moving around, and I even did a little turkey call, try to scare it away. And I didn't hear it while I was down here yesterday, but I was looking at the videos last night. And I actually had a turkey to answer me, and I had no idea. But if I knew that, I might have went after it. But I ended up going down the ridge twice, actually, yesterday. And first time, I think I told a little bit video already. Actually, next little finger ridge over, I was almost to where I was wanting to be at, probably another 20 yards or so, and I saw two gobblers run down the ridge, and their heads would just be bopping along, and I really didn't have a shot at them. They wasn't that far, but they were moving so quick I wasn't going to take a shot. So I went back over to my original spot, sit there for a while, and then the sun come out, and I knew I was sticking out like a sore thumb, so I went back down in the edge of the woods and found a big oak tree set up against some shade, so I could be a little more shaded in. And I had no longer sit down, pulled one of my calls out and did a little late call, and a turkey about 30 yards, a gobbler come running from behind a bunch of little pine trees and an oak, and went running down over the hill. And I sit there till 12:30. I looked at my phone. It was like 12:15, 12:20. I said, well, I'm going to see her at 12:30. If I don't see her or anything, I'm going to leave. And it was just a minute or two later, another one gobbled over on that little finger ridge. I mean, I didn't call or anything because I didn't think I'd get him over by the 1 o'clock quitting time. So I sit there at 12:30 and I never did see him, so I got up real easy and was leaving. And when I got back to my original spot, I heard him gobble over again, so he was still over there. So I know there's still some in here, so that's my plan for this morning, get back in there. Like I said, still don't know what spooked that one gobbler. He was looking at me when he came on a full strut and took off, but yeah, he was about 40 plus yards or so when I shot at him. I shouldn't have shot, but yeah, excitement takes over sometimes. But I do believe the neighbor got him because he went run down the ridge and they started gobbling his head off, went down over the hill on the private property, and I heard a couple shots over there. So anyway, we'll see what happens next. Hey guys, it's about 12:15. Today is definitely not the day I thought I'd have. After all the action yesterday, I thought for sure I'd at least hear a lot more and hopefully see something. But the only thing I was seeing about 45 minutes ago was a hen come up behind my left shoulder over here. She started going off. I don't know if she saw my decoy or what. Kind of scared me a little bit. I jerked around real quick and she was right over there. She took off flying. So at first I didn't know it was me. I thought maybe something might have been after her. She had a nest over her, and I kept watching to see if it was a coyote or something. And never did see anything. I guess she saw my decoy and got freaked out and saw me turn around. She took off flying. That's the only turkey I've seen. I've heard very, very few gobbles this morning. I've heard one about 20 minutes ago way over on private property. So got to be out of the woods in 45 minutes. So I'm going to go back over to where I was originally this morning on this next little point. Call, see if he answers me. If he does, I'm going to see if I can work him a little bit. If not, I'm going to work my way back to the truck and just call periodically. See if I can't strike something up. Going back to the truck. I ain't too hopeful about it, but this morning I'm going to go back over to the spot I'm getting ready to go to. I'll show you where I was sitting at this morning. About 30 minutes after daylight. One down over the hill about halfway off the mountain gobbled. A couple times he was in a tree. And then I called to him once. And then next time he gobbled, he was directly in front of me, just over the hill. So I got the camera turned on, clicked my safety off this time, unlike yesterday. I had the gun pointed right where I heard the gobble. And I did a few soft yelps, very soft, because he was pretty close. And next time he gobbled was about 5 minutes away. He was over on the end of this point that I'm on now. And that was the last time I heard him. And I did hear a gobble about an hour ago. Way out that way to my right. I don't know if that was him or what. And the ones over on the private property, I've heard him about 3 times this morning. And this morning, if that's him I'm hearing now, he was over this morning just lit up in the tree. There was a hen or somebody on that private property, or a hen or something, down over the hill, just hammering. And he was just hammering right back. But once he hit the ground, he shut up. But he's gobbled about 3 times over in that same general area. So I ain't too hopeful, but I'm going to go over and give it about 15 minutes. So if I can't get anything, I'm going to head back the other way. But anyway, that's the story for today. Alright, I'm back here where I was at this morning. I was sitting right here this morning. It's this big old log. And I had my decoy sitting right there against that little pine tree right there. And he hammered a couple times. He was in this general direction, about halfway down the hill. You can see it breaks over about 30 yards, 25, 30 yards here in front of me. It breaks over. And he hammered a couple times in the tree. He yelped a little bit, but I didn't yelp anymore. And next time he gobbled, he was right, just right over the hill here. He couldn't have been too far. He was close. And so I turned the camera on, and I did a couple soft yelps on the pot call, and got my gun ready, turned the safety off. And I didn't see him, and I was waiting for him. Maybe he's going to pop up over here somewhere, or over here. Wasn't sure what direction he's going. About 5 minutes later, right, you go down this bend right here, there's a little dip, and I'm just on that other finger ridge over there. You can't see from here. This one's got a lot of scratch on that one over here, where I was just at. I've been over for about the last 3.5 hours. Tore up. And but he hammered again. Last time he did, it was just around the other side, so I don't know if he got up on, he kept on going around the side of the hill, or he got up on that flat over there and went somewhere. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to work my way back to the truck, so if I don't come across anything between now and then, this will probably wrap it up for today. day 4 of vacation and day 4 of my spring gobbler season. I still got a couple days left. Stick with me, guys.